Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Vijender Singh Tamar, Associate Professor in English. Presently, I am posted at Government College, Gudha, in Janganu district. Today, we will talk about BA Part 2, English Literature, Paper 2, the famous story, The Refugee. And it is one of the well-known story. It is a heart-touching story composed by an American author. So let us talk about the author. The author is a experienced author. The name of the author is Pearl Sidenstricker Buck. She was born in 1892 and died in 1973. She spent most of her lifetime in China. So she was associated with China, and she had a Chinese name also, Sai Zhenju. Up to 1934, she lived in China. Her novel, The Good Earth, was a bestseller, and she was awarded Pulitzer Prize in 1932. And in 1938, she was awarded Nobel Prize for Literature for her rich and truly epic descriptions of peasants' life in China and for her biographical masterpieces. She writes in such a way that from her writing we can say that she has a talent to look inside or to look minutely in the life of people. She reveals the life of poor peasants of China and their great attachment to the Mother Earth. So we can say our author is a lady writer, and she is a Nobel laureate, and she has won many awards. She was respected everywhere. She came with her parents and lived for many years in China. So she knew the reality. Now let us come to the story. About the story, which is entitled The Refugee, means a person who takes shelter, brings out the tragedy of those people, particularly hardworking people, innocent and honest people who are uprooted, who have to take shelter somewhere else because of no fault of their own. Here the case is because of natural calamities, that is flood. Flood caused so much havoc in the areas of innocent and honest peasants that they had to leave their places and seek shelter somewhere else. Now, as it was a flood which caused lot of damage, lot of destruction, lot of problems for people, so people started leaving their land and going to the city just to take shelter there. Now, in this story, the author has shown us the human nature. Human beings are very cruel indeed. They do not understand the problems of others. They are selfish. They think only about themselves. This is the message, one message which is given by the author in this story. As there was a flood, so many peasants, they have to leave their village and seek shelter in the city. So large number of people, because they have been uprooted because of natural calamity, and the calamity was caused by flood. They sought refuge in another city, and the city was full of refugees, but they were able to feed and clothe somehow themselves. The people who came from these lands, they were sheltered in mats in camps outside the city wall. The city people did not like them. They looked down upon them. They had bitterness in their heart for the refugees. They thought that they would suffer in trying to feed all of them. Their problem was also genuine. So whenever these refugees happened to pass in front of the shops, the shopkeepers shouted to keep the beggars away. Means they were not treated as human beings. They have come because of some problem in their area, but they were treated as beggars. They were not given any kind of respects. And now, as their number was huge, they had to earn livelihood. Many of them started pulling rickshaw. As they needed money, they started taking lower price, lower fare from the tenants, and this caused problem for the regular rickshaw pullers. So they hated them. They did not like. So this was the scene, or you can say this was the a overall picture of the city. Now a fresh horde, that group of refugees came passing through the city. This group consists of many men and women. They did not look at anything with curiosity, nor did the city dwellers pay any attention to them. So many refugees had come that it was become a normal thing for them. No, it was not something special. So nobody, neither the city dwellers paying any attention, nor the people, those who came. But these refugees were different. Their dresses, appearance, and the way of walking showed that they had seen much better days. Means it is because of under some compulsion that they are coming. Otherwise, they were well-to-do people. From their walking style, their dress, it appeared to the audience, or you can say poet or author. They were all from the same region. This is also one thing, that they have come particular area, from a particular area. Their garments were made of blue cotton stuff, plain and cut in old-fashioned way. They were wearing a dress that indicated that they belonged to a particular area. The men wore smoked aprons with dyed कढ़ाई की हुई कह सकते हैं. Apron, the smoking was done in a beautiful way. The women had bands of the same flame, blue stuff wrapped like handkerchief about their heads. Both men and women were tall and strong. It showed that they were healthy and well-to-do people sometimes ago. Every man carried a load of 2 baskets slung on a pole across the shoulder. In these baskets, there were quilts and other things. In both the baskets, on the top of every folded quilt was iron cauldron, but there was no food in any basket. This is the tragedy. There was no food. They were very, you can say, suffering class. At first glance, these people appeared well enough. From the, if you look from a distance, you will find that these are good people. They did not require any kind of help. But closely, their faces, starving and moving in despair, at last hope, been uprooted land because of floods. Means their faces showed that they had not eaten anything from many days. They have been uprooted from their motherland, native place, because of natural calamity, flood. In this crowd, there was an old man who was very weak. He was also carrying a load of 2 baskets on his shoulders. From his personality, it was very clear that if it would have been normal times, that person would have rested. He had passed the age of work, but he was doing this. It means there was something tragic in his life. He had 2 baskets on his pole, and there was much load in it, could walk with difficulty. He was not in a position to walk in a smooth manner, but he was walking with great difficulty. Suddenly his strength failed, could go no more. He placed his burden and started taking rest. He sat on the ground. He put his head between his knees, closed his eyes, and he was fainting. Suddenly, we saw that nearby the person or that old man, a ragged vendor, which is a very poor vendor, was selling hot noodles near and but this old man did not have any money to buy noodles to keep him alive. Fortunately, another person passed that place. He saw the old man. He took pity on the old man and gave him a silver coin and a copper penny. The old man protested that he was not a beggar, but anyhow, that man gave him the money. Now, this was noticed by the vendor, the person who was selling hot noodles. He was hoping that this man will now purchase noodles. The old man ordered for a small bowl of noodles. Vendor was surprised that this starving old man will eat only small bowl. It was something beyond his comprehension. So he said it was not enough for him. The old man said, I had bought this bowl not for me. The vendor gave bowl. We saw, out of curiosity, what the old man would do. Now, old man removed one of the quilts of the basket and brought out a small boy. His eyes were closed. His face showed starving. Means it appeared from the distance that boy was dying of hunger. The old man took out that small boy from his basket and gave him that noodles. And then he placed that boy in the basket. The vendor was not satisfied. He was looking at him out of curiosity. Suddenly he noticed that he had now one more coin, silver coin. So he was hoping that old man would buy noodles of the silver coin for himself. But to his surprise, old man did not buy noodles for himself. Old man, when he was asked, the old man replied that he would buy silver seed for the silver coin. When he would return to his native place, he will require seed, and that silver coin will be used to buy seed. Otherwise, his grandson would starve the next year also. He took up his load again, rose with difficulty, walked on legs trembling. Writer comments, any nation can be proud of such men. The idea is these people, though they were hungry, but they were having self-respect. They give more importance to their honor than begging. Thus, we can say this is a didactic story that it teaches us a lesson courage and dignity in the face of calamities. We should have courage and dignity. The man of strong character can break but not bend. They have so much self-respect that they can be killed, they can be die, but they will not move before any power. Secondly, the second message from this story is that the author is quite optimistic. The old man was optimistic, that is why he was thinking of the seed and next year. He was not thinking of himself, but thinking of the future generation. This shows that they are dedicated to society, not for himself. As he had said, if he does not sow seeds, there will be no crops the next year and they will starve again. Thus, he is full of courage, dignity, and optimism. He cannot be termed as a beggar. That is why the writer comments, these were men and women of which any nation might have been proud. Even in the face of difficulties, these people are maintaining their self-respect, hoping, and they have positive attitude. And people like the old men, they are assets for a nation. So they cannot be called beggars. This is just a temporary phenomena which has happened because of natural calamity. Otherwise, they are very, very self-respecting people. Thank you very much.